Ghanaians, before I begin this episode, I need to state clearly and unequivocally that the views expressed in this episode are mine alone and do not in any way represent the position of the multimedia group or any of its affiliates. So let's get to the chase. And now to the very matter at hand. A number of our members of parliament, including the Minister for Communication, Samuel George, and MPP's Honorable John Ntim Fojo, have reintroduced the promotion of proper human sexual rights and Ghanaian family values bill. It is popularly called the Anti-LGBTQ bill. The aim, as we all know, is they say they want to, quote, protect our moral fabric by criminalizing same-sex relationships and related expressions. But I ask, with all the sense of urgency of conscience, are there not truly pressing problems in this country than to police the bedrooms of consenting adults? Have we solved the issue of joblessness, corruption, poverty, insecurity, poor healthcare, and failing education? Have we fixed the roads that are killing our citizens daily, or paid the nurses, teachers, civil servants who are going mad without salaries? Why then is so much legislative energy being poured into a bill about people's private sexual behavior? Behavior that, even if you disapprove of it, causes you no personal harm directly and in the immediate term. We have to be clear, fellow Ghanaians. I am not here to endorse homosexuality. That is a purely private matter, and with many Ghanaians, I have my own cultural and moral boundaries. But opposing the criminalization of people for their private choice is not the same as supporting those choices. It is about justice, about freedom, and about the kind of nation that we claim to be. Fellow Ghanaians, the measure of a democracy is not how it treats the majority or the agreeable, but how it protects its minorities. The purpose of law is not to reflect our collective emotions, but to safeguard the liberties that make civilization possible. You do not build a moral nation by legislating morality into handcuffs. The reintroduced bill, in its original form, proposed penalties, including imprisonment for individuals merely accused of identifying as LGBTQ+, supporting them or advocating for their rights. If this bill passed, me standing here will go to jail because I'm asking for their rights to be safeguarded. It preaches, in my opinion, violence towards gay people, which could be criminalized. The bill reaches far beyond private conduct into speech, thought, and even association. So, fellow Ghanaians, we have to ask. We are a very moral society, but since when did we become so insecure in our moral confidence that we need to jail people because we prove that we are more righteous? This Ghana that I know, the Ghana that I've always known, is one of tolerance, of community, of warmth. It does not fear diversity. It draws strength from it. Yet this bill seeks to create fear, shame, and suspicion among its citizens. It will not build families. It will only break them. It will promote, really, lawlessness. It will not promote morality. It will promote hypocrisy and hate. We must remember that every era of moral panic in human history has always found a group to scapegoat: witches, heretics, left-handers, those who marry across tribes, or those who simply believe differently. History has never been kind to societies that legislate hate, and future generations will look back at us now and wonder how a country that prides itself on hospitality could use its laws to hunt down its own citizens. When you criminalize people for who they are, you push them underground. You deny them access to healthcare, education, and to jobs. You make them targets of violence. You turn citizens into fugitives within their own homeland. There are those who say, really, this is un-African. I say, so is colonial legislation. So is importing a 19th century British moral code into 21st century Ghana. The very law our MPs are seeking to expand, Section 104 of the Criminal Offences Act, was not written by Ghanaians. It was imposed by colonial rulers who saw Africans as needing moral correction. Is that a legacy we wish to deepen? And apparently, there is a moral laziness in thinking that jailing people for private conduct makes us holy. It does not. What it does is distract us from the real moral crisis of our time, of greed, corruption, inequality, environmental destruction, injustice. These are the things, fellow Ghanaians, that are truly tearing our social fabric apart, not what someone else is doing in the private and confines of their bedroom. Yet we will not write laws with the same zeal to punish those who steal the people's money, those who are poisoning our rivers or destroying our forest. If only our lawmakers pursued illegal mining, corruption, and environmental degradation with the same passion with which they pursue this bill, this country will truly be a paradise by now. What we need are laws that expand opportunity, not fear. Laws that hold leaders accountable, not ordinary citizens by holding them captive. We must also consider the global implications. This country has long been respected internationally for its democracy, its peace, and its moderation. This bill, however, casts a long shadow over that reputation. It risks isolating us diplomatically, economically, and threatening aid, trade, and cooperation. And for what? To prove our moral purity to our own selves. The irony is striking. We take loans from countries that fully protect LGBTQ rights. We'll travel to their cities for conferences, for vacations, for education, for health, for leisure. Yet we will jail our own citizens for simply existing in the same way as those abroad. What kind of moral inconsistency is that? Fellow Ghanaians, I understand the emotion. Many fear that without such laws, our values will erode. But laws cannot replace parenting, faith, or moral education. If our values are truly Ghanaian, then they will stand strong without a need to jail people to prove it. True strength lies not in punishing difference, but in confronting it with confidence, compassion, and conversation. So I say to our MPs, those of you sponsoring this bill, and all of you who support this, you may be doing this from a place of care. But I must ask you, and respectfully, with all the due respect that I can muster, when was the last time our parliament sat all night to debate how long or how to stop illegal mining, which has destroyed our rivers, as we know? When was the last time we saw unity across party lines over how to fix our schools, equip our hospitals, or end the cruel practice of posting teachers and nurses without paying them for months and years? Why is this the issue that unites all of us, or for some people, so passionately? This country is not a moral desert. We are a people of faith, conscience, and community. But we are also a constitutional democracy. And in a democracy, a state's role is not to enforce uniformity in private life, but to guarantee freedom within the public order. We cannot build a country that we dream on the back of fear. We cannot claim to love humanity and simultaneously legislate hate. The moment we decide that our neighbors are unworthy of dignity because of who they love, we have already begun to lose our own. Fellow Ghanaians, we can disprove without destroying. We can disagree without dehumanizing. We can stand for our values without abandoning our humanity. If you truly believe in Ghanaian values of tolerance, of compassion, of fairness, then this is the moment to prove it. We have to build a country where laws protect, not persecute, where parliament writes the future, not fear, where leadership is measured by justice and not by measurement, or judgment, I should say. For it is easy to jail the weak, but it takes real courage to stand up for what is right, even when the crowd boos. So fellow Ghanaians, if you say someone is gay, which is you throw them into jail for 10 years, what is going to happen to that person in prison? Why are we not exploring rehabilitation, parenting, doing all the things that can really change people? If you say this is our moral code, then let's do it from the start. Let's inculcate this in young people so that they don't grow and go into other places. And then we bundle them up, put them in handcuffs and in shackles and throw them in jail. That is not how you change the society. That is how you lead so many people underground. Because when people say that is what they will do it. This time around, they will hide. And then they will spread diseases among each other. It will come up and hurt all of us. So I say to our members of parliament and all those who support this, maybe you are coming from a good place. I've heard some of the arguments. You are coming from a place of care, of love. However, let's have a rethink about this law. Good morning, fellow Ghanaians.
Yena